Hi, I'm Abhishek Bachchan.
I'm Taapsee Pannu.
And I'm Vicky Kaushal, and you all are tuned in to Bollywood Film Fame.
आगे ले चलना बस तेरे साथ रहना मुझे
हम लोग साथ में होंगे तो पूरा दिन कहीं निकलने की जरूरत ही नहीं है चल फिर भाग चलते
अभी
नहीं अभी नहीं होए अभी तो मम्मी को गोभी के पराठे बनाने को बोल के आए
Hi, I am Armin. I am with BollywoodFilmFame.com. I am here with the cast. I think Vicky's going to join us a little bit later. But we're here with Abhishek Bachchan, Taapsee Pannu, and they are here in Toronto for Man Marziyan, Orf husband material. All right. So, guys, everyone's going to ask you this. How does it feel to be in Toronto? I'm not going to ask you that. Okay. This is what I'm going to ask you.
We're in Toronto? I thought we were in Dubai.
What are you saying? Abhishek, please.
Okay, so you are in Toronto. There's a CN Tower somewhere here. There it is.
Okay, yeah.
So the CN Tower's there. All right, Man Marziyan. I mean, we're seeing Taapsee in a full-blown love story, so to speak. Abhishek, we're seeing you after about two and a half years, something like that. All right, Anurag Kashyap. He's the type of director I've heard who sort of gives you some generic direction for a shot, and he will give you a little bit of direction in terms of, okay, this is the kind of atmosphere I want, but sometimes he just lets you play. How does that feel as an actor?
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah, we just have, say, a blueprint of sorts for the scene, and then he just asks, okay, now you just go ahead. This is what I want to convey with the scene. Now you just go ahead and let's do it. And sometimes it's like, okay, is it that whole responsibility and control sometimes can freak you out. That, okay, I don't know which way it's going to go. But then you just, because he has bestowed so much of trust upon you, then you end up like just making sure you're just flying away with it. At least with the character I got, there were no limits. So we had, at least for him, it was like, okay, Robbie cannot do this. So for me and Vicky especially, there were no limits. They were like, they cannot not do anything. They can do anything and everything under the sun. So sky was the limit for us to just go crazy. So that's what we did. We just like played with the scenes that we got. And he was like, okay, he used to start thriving on our mistakes in the scenes. And he never used to say cut. And he's like, continue. Let's just see how you're going to deal with the mistake as a character. So he never used to like direct in a very hard and fast way. That's the beauty of Anurag Kashyap, I feel.
But does that sometimes blur the lines for you as an actor? Because I think one of the actors I spoke to some time ago said, after a certain set of years, after a certain set of films, you almost become another person because of all the roles that you've done. So sometimes, does the line blur, especially when it's someone like Anurag Kashyap who says, go with it? Or do you know if...
I'm a psycho woman with every film I'm doing. I knew he's going to say that.
Vicky, can you back me up here, please, brother? She's
You're
becoming...
supposed to
You're
join
meant
us,
to
by
join
the way.
in, by the way.
Yeah.
Come on in, jump in.
Vicky, as always, has gone straight to the bed and...
All right, we have Vicky here as well.
Vicky, she's saying that she's becoming a psycho.
false
She is psychotic.
But that's because I am like becoming that with all the films that I'm doing. It's really taking a part of my brain away, which I'm never going to get back. And so has Rumi. I don't know what I'm going to be left with after this.
Okay, so if you're this psychopath, unfortunately, this is the way they've termed you. What is he and what are you?
The victim.
You get
No.
no. You get to give them.
Believe me so much, as you can see.
We both are petrified to have a shower nowadays. What? Yeah.
There must be a backstory to this.
No?
correct behind the curtain
Yeah.
They both bully me a lot, as you can see.
Yeah.
I have visual proof of this now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you agree with me?
I kind of do.
Yeah, see?
That's why I asked you if you want to name them. You can.
See, but I'm a very nice girl. I don't reply back like that.
Yeah, we don't believe in patting ourselves on the back, right? Yeah. I'm a very nice girl. So tell me, what did you think of the film?
It was fantastic. You know what? I was a little bit apprehensive at first because I was like, Anurag Kashyap, love story. I'm not really, there's lots of colors. It's very vibrant. And then with your character in particular, I felt a certain draw to her. It was interesting
related
because,
to her?
yeah, I related to her.
Oh, that's good. That's what we wanted.
Yeah.
That was going to be my next question to you.
Okay, I like that you're interviewing me now.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, so what about...
See, we're multi-talented.
Yeah.
We make your job so much easier.
You do. This is more of
Yeah.
a conversation now.
Exactly.
All the questions have gone down the
Good.
drain. Great. Okay. So a little bit about the characters that you play.
Oh,
There
I
are
love that about
certain-
Canada. About
about the characters that you
Yeah,
played.
I used to have a science teacher in school who's Canadian. So about.
That's a nice way to say it.
Yeah, it is. It's
Yeah,
nice.
that's nice.
I like it.
Very proper.
It's unique.
It's unique, yeah.
It's what sets you apart from the other accents.
Perhaps. I didn't see. We don't think we have an accent.
No, you don't. It's absolutely normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a little bit about your characters. Something that you something that you took away from each one of your characters, because
She took most of her wardrobe. She stole most of her props and wardrobe and kept them.
No, I just ate
All
the
three of her
things.
costumes that we got to wear in Man Marziya due to budgetary constraints. Yeah.
No, I just ate most of the eating stuff that was there on the set.
You didn't eat anything, Taapsee. Stop
I
trying to be like
ate.
Vicky. जिसका खुलासा आज सुबह हो गया है.
I know, man. The first video I
So
saw,
finally the proof is out.
she's just like,
The proof is out. These
I
guys
know.
keep blaming me that I'm a big foodie, and today there's actually video proof on social media about who actually is the foodie in the unit.
but how do you shoot it? How do you shoot in Punjab and not be a foodie? I mean,
exactly.
Can you imagine the sacrifice we as actors have to go through, the mental and physical torture of working in Amritsar for 40 days and not eating aloo parathe, lassi, or going to a neat dhaba and eating food?
Abhishek just cut the crap because he's the man who changed like locations of 3 scenes in the film. Suddenly it was not in the script and we are sitting at Kesar da dhaba
Okay, one thing.
and Ahuja
Pause.
lassi.
Pause. Who was in the scene in Kesar Dhaba?
Yeah, but imagine
Not
he was not
me.
even in the scene, but he was still there on the
Oh,
set.
I love
because
y'all.
he
I
made.
I
yeah.
love you all and I want you all to be well fed and nourished and so that you all can work hard.
I was working really hard to get a Barcelona bikini body, and suddenly because of Abhishek, the locations have changed, and then you have to stuff yourself with Kesar
Okay,
da
did you go to
dhaba.
Barcelona after the film?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, did you wear a bikini?
No, because it was
you
raining.
did. Yes, you did. But there you go. Don't blame me.
okay, so I have to ask you this, because you guys were on set. I heard you, especially, you were on set at times when you didn't have a scene or anything to shoot. Is that where this craziness comes from?
That's
This
just how
camaraderie?
unemployed we are. That's all. we had that kind of time on hand. Yeah. No, you know when you're filming on location, which in India is called an outdoor. You're away from your family and your friends and all that, and the unit becomes your family.
Right.
So when you do have the odd day off, which in an Anurag Kashyap film is very rare because he's possibly the fastest director I've worked with, the shoots an average of 3 to 4 scenes a day, where usually back home you shoot 1 scene every 2 days. So he's lightning fast. So you get an odd day off, and if you're in a place like Amritsar or somewhere which is not known to you, I mean, one day you can go out and see the sights. After that, you just want to do something, so you go hang on the set with your friends. Because I mean, when you're making a film, over time you bond, you become like family. It is an extended family, so you go hang with them. I mean, even after rap, we used to all hang out together. She used to take Anurag to the gym. Vicky and I used to be eating together. So it becomes part like a group, and that's the one thing I miss the most about finishing a film, is that that suddenly this whole group that has become so tightly knit is just going to have to go on their own separate ways and do another film. So you try and cherish the time together as much as possible.
What was the most challenging scene?
He's like, no, nothing is very challenging.
No.
Very
I'm just thinking because there were many.
yeah, right.
No. I think the very last scene in the film that I had, that was pretty challenging. I mean, because to get that sur right, I wouldn't want to kind of give away things, but that scene was really tricky because firstly, it was written very last moment, because we were all in costumes. Me and Taapsee, we were in costumes and we were on set, cameras were ready, and that's when Anurag Kashyap and Kanika Dhillon, they were just finishing up the scene, what exact words they need to use to convey what they're feeling right now. And it was a scene which had to be felt in the moment. I mean, it was not a scene which you could have prepared for. You just had to be in that moment and just react to each other in the most honest way possible. So I think if I have to recollect what was the most challenging scene, I think that would be it. Yeah.
It was a very effective scene.
Thank you.
Very effective.
Can I give you my review of the two of them?
Go ahead.
Yeah?
Review.
Because I finally saw the finish, complete end product last night.
Oh my God, yeah.
For the first time we saw the actual thing. We weren't like any sound check or whatever. So with her, I think you can't say even one scene, because I mean this only in a complimentary way. I don't think she's performed for even one scene. And that, it baffled me last night. And I was like, how has she managed to just go through this film and not make it look like a performance? She's just that natural. And I'm saying this with a lot of love. Taapsee Pannu was born to be Rumi. I'm not kidding.
Oh.
She's flawless. There's not one note of hers that you can say, no, Rumi wouldn't do that. Because she's actually just, I think it's every actor's dream to live a character, and not make it feel fake even once. And she's done that. It's just, it still baffles me till this morning about how is she man. No, seriously. And, for actors, we tend to look for that one scene where we get an emotional scene, which is an outburst or something where you get to show your acting chops. Vicky has several of them, but my favorite moment of Vicky's, which I really think from an actor's perspective, which is how we see, and all actors judge each other because they're like, oh, I can do that better, but the one scene where I was just amazed, and it just reaffirmed it last night at the premiere when I was watching it, is he's got great scenes where he breaks down and all that. Even his last scene is very good, but what I think is just genius acting is there's a scene of two of them. They're driving in a Jeep and she stops the car and they have a confrontation. And she's taking off on him, okay? And she is going at him. And at one point, Anurag just cuts to his face and he's just listening to her. And the most difficult thing for an actor to do is listen to the other actor. And when the shot is on you, you actually show that you're genuinely listening. 90% of the time we're like, oh, what's my line? Oh shit, I forgot my line. Did she finish the cue? Oh my God, is my facing okay? Is the light okay? All that is going on. And he's just there and he's genuinely just listening to her and he's getting hurt by what she's saying. And he's done that so beautifully. And it's one of the most challenging things for an actor to do is just to sit there and to listen to the other actor, especially when the other actor has all the lines and has got all the emotion backing them in the scene. But for him to stand his own and still be there, and it was fantastic. It's brilliant. That's what these two are in this film. Seriously.
But you as well, you have a lot of moments.
I'll tell you what, I'm just flawless in this film.
Abhishek is a perfect Robbie. And who gave you a compliment? I read somewhere that you are India's answer to Mr. Darcy.
Kalki.
Yeah, she did. It's so cool.
One last question, and I know we're going to wrap things up, but one last question. You talked a little bit about how that unit becomes a family, especially when you're on the outdoor schedule, so to speak. What are you going to miss about each other the most?
I miss Abhishek's sense of humor a lot, but I think I can go anytime there and chill at their place to hear both father and son together jam with their sense of humor. And with Vicky, I think I'll miss his Punjabi. I mean, that is one thing that I have. I keep telling him all the time. That's when a guy, being from a Sikh family. I mean, I've grown up hearing Punjabi, but in Delhi, my generation, at least, we don't speak in Punjabi. We know how to read and write, though, but we don't converse in Punjabi. We, amongst ourselves, we are talking in that Punjabi slang of Hindi. Our elder generation talks in Punjabi. So when I heard him talking in Punjabi for the first time, I was like floored. I was like, how cool does this sound? And I was like, oh my God, why don't I know how to speak it so fluently? So I think that is what the first impression of his that I had and that I'm going to take back home forever.
You'll fit right into Toronto. All of us are speaking Punjabi 24/7.
Can't tell you how badly I want to go to Brampton.
Dude, you don't need to.
We're going to Brampton. You want to hop in?
To go, I cannot tell you what happened to me last night. When I was driving back from the after party, I'm stopped at a light and suddenly I hear this booming bass, right? And this car pulls up next to me, the windows are down, there are 4 of our mundas in there blasting some bhangra and they're just gangstering it all the way, and they're like,
hang with them.
I was like, wow, man, it was insane. This is downtown Toronto. It was great.
Yeah, that's what I want to live in, Toronto. Next time, when I have good time in hand. Yeah. For sure.
All right. Thank you so much for taking out time to speak to us.